running these things are predominantly white Protestant males. You know, I mean, if I just sort of were to do a blanket statement, I know it's a blanket statement. And because of that, I can't really blame them. They're going to represent their stories and what they've seen and what they grew up in, their realities. I knew if I had a TV show, it probably wouldn't be about, you know, high school in Beverly Hills. Because that's not the story that I would want to tell. And so until we have people producing culture that are writing from a place of experience that is not that common, you're going to get stuck with the same kind of stories. So yeah, I think the misrepresentation is across the board.
Do you feel that there are advantages or disadvantages of Asian American lack of representation?
Lack of representation? Advantages or disadvantages? Advantages.
I mean, the disadvantages are obvious. You said some earlier.
Right.
Have there been any?
Advantages?
People thinking, you know, kung fu or...
Advantages. I can't really think of any advantages other than maybe if we want to, for some reason, be under the radar and sort of left alone. But no, even then, it doesn't really work out that way. We just sort of, get treated like you're invisible. But no, I can't really think of any advantages.
Okay. What do you think about the relationship between racism and politics in the Asian American community today? I didn't write that question.
Holy. Well, the relationship between politics and economics in the Asian... No.
You gotta edit that one out because I'm not.
Race and... No, the relationship between race, politics, and economics?
Yeah. I think that's what he means.
Well, I think I kind of talked about it earlier, but in terms of race, politics, and economics, I mean, those are all huge things. And I think we got to kind of level off on what we're talking about. When we're talking about race, like it's this social construct here in the United States, and it didn't start here in the U.S., but this whole idea that there are different races, and like, just to be real, there's no such thing as race, right? There's no Mongoloids, there's no Caucasians, there's no... I mean, that's what these scientists were trying to say, to try and help explain these different races and genetic stock or whatever, but the reality is there's no fundamental difference, and you can't necessarily break them down into these distinct groups. So, then why does it exist? I think there's a power thing there. It helps explain in some ways why, and it served its purpose in one point in time to help people of a certain race feel like it is that they're superior and or they are more deserving of certain privileges and power over other groups. So then how does that work in with the economics? Well, if you're a country like, say, the United States and or a European nation, and you're like, you know, I need a lot of resources, and the brown people over there have a lot of it, and I've got a lot of really good Christian folks who care about, you know, being fair and just and good people. Well, if I tell them that we're better and God chose us, the lighter people, and we're cooler, and we want the resources, let's kind of just tell them that the brown people are not loved by God as much, and they're fundamentally different from you, and they're savages, and we have to help them and Christianize them, and let's go over there and take their stuff. And so I think race really helps economics in that way, and it becomes like another way to sort of either vilify or to get people to pity a certain group, you know, a different group. Here in the United States, the history is a little bit different, where, you know, the United States has an awesome history of taking an entire group of people, telling them that they're not really people, that they're animals and that they're slaves, and and getting free labor. I mean, and free labor translates economically to a lot of profit because you don't got to pay them. And that's the history of this country, the intersection between race and economics. That's at the foundation of this nation. I mean, the way that this country was able to become a superpower was from slavery, was from cotton money, was, in terms of politics. I think it's pretty easy to maybe make that connection, but the politics kind of ties is what plays the race thing, is what helps justify the racist perspectives to help, I don't know, continue our sort of economic gain. I don't know. That's a really heavy question.
Yeah.
And I hope that was a decently not so heavy answer.
Well, we'll move on. Are you satisfied with what the Asian American community has done in order to represent our people in American society today?
No.
No. Any reason why?
Oh. No, I'm not satisfied. There's more to do. There's a lot more to do. And I think, you know how I was saying that I feel like not a large percentage of, I take that back, not a large percentage, the majority of the Asian American community is not represented, but instead what we see is sort of like a minority of Asian Americans who are the college educated, everything's great in America and we speak perfect English, and I don't know, that kind of upper echelon of Asian Americans who use words like echelon. I think the reason that is because, again, the people who have access to be able to make these images are college educated, might be college professors, writers in the university, and they really mean well. A lot of them mean well, and a lot of them are doing some great research, but sometimes what they choose to represent is a little bit narrow. And I think there needs to be a whole slew of voices that need to be better represented. I don't know if it's going to come from academia. I don't know if it's going to come from Hollywood. I really don't think it is going to come from either of those places. I think there needs to be a whole lot more work being done in the communities to do some sort of to bring out community voices, whether it's through art, whether it's through community-based research. There's just a whole lot of voices that aren't being represented, that I feel are the avenues that the Asian American community is sort of, I don't know, been using. I'm losing it. But anyway. Yeah, I think there's a whole lot more to do. That's not to diss people. I'm not trying to say they haven't done enough and they're bad people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's more work to be done. And I would like to hear from different people. Yeah, I think that's...
Okay. When you were talking earlier about serving the Asian American community, you referenced Daly City.
Mm-hmm.
Are you originally from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Downey, California, which is Southern California. It's a suburb about 15 to 20 miles southeast southwest of LA proper. Oh God, I'm so terrible. And so it's like Downey, Paramount, Norwalk, Compton, Central LA kind of a thing.
Okay.
And it was predominantly, when I was first growing up, maybe up until age 6, it was predominantly